Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. So traders, I want to show you a pattern that may be forming right now that actually spells more downside to come. And not only more downside, but a nice movement on the downside. And I want to share that with you, and this pattern has actually got me worried for the markets. Now, not worried as in like I'm scared of or something like that, but worried because a lot of people, if a lot of people are long and this pattern forms, then we're likely to see a very sharp movement on the downside quite quickly. Now, what I mean by that is over probably a couple of week period, we're likely to see a nice strong selling movement in the markets. And that's what I'm going to share with you in this video. If you haven't done so yet, guys, then I'm doing an 85% off my complete Master Trader Lab. I've got 5 different trading courses in there. It's actually only for, you can actually try it out for free, and then it's just $7. But you can see I'm running that recently, so you can go to johnsflashsale.com to check all that out, and you'll be able to see all the details on that page about what's actually in the courses and what's in the Master Trader Lab, and how you can get access to that 85% off right now. And also on top of that, you actually can try it out for free as well too. So I want to share something that I'm looking at here right now with the indices here. Okay, if I'm looking at, this is the Dow Jones here. All right, let me just delete this off here, and let me delete this. I'll keep that there. All right, but one thing I'm noticing through here is this. Okay, we're noticing that this market is squeezing up into some sort of resistance line, pushing it up through here. Okay, so we've got resistance line pushing up through here, and then we've got this support line pushing it up through here, and then we have the resistance line coming through here as well. Okay, the market drops down, comes down, finds support, and now we're rallying back up again. So we're rallying back up again right now, and the pattern that I was saying at the start of the video was that it's got me worried, is that if we start to roll over, in the markets, and we start to do something like this, and we roll over, and then we start to come down, and we start to break this 25.50 level, that basically this level through here, that in itself is likely to create, this is going to be a lower high than breaking past previous lows. If we get that in the Dow Jones, then that's probably we're likely to see a very, very sharp movement on the downside over a couple, or who knows how long it's going to be, right? Could be a week, could be 2 weeks, could be a month. But a movement from there, once it breaks there, look at all this, guys. Look at all this level through, look at all this area through here. You know what that's called? This is called white space. There's absolutely nothing through here. It's absolutely just, there's the major support, there's the actual trend line. If we break that through, if we do that, then I have a target of this thing going down to 22,000. And if that happens, that could be the start of an overall big bear market, call it crash, recession, for the next couple of years. Let me share with you the S&P 500 here. All right, so this is the S&P 500. Same thing, right? We have this resistance point up the top here. We have this low, so the support's coming in, the support's coming in, the support's coming in, and we're still pressing up and still pressing up higher. If we start to sort of falter through here next week, so we start to do this, and then we start to break down and breaking past these previous lows through here, so now we're going to have a lower high, breaking past previous lows. If that happens, then oh my goodness, this thing, as you can see, right, like look at, once again, like this is the trend line through here. Right, look at the trend line. You can see how valid that is. Look at all the bounces off through there, right? So the resistance got about. If we roll over here, guys, it's gonna be violent, right? Because see how we're squeezing up into this pattern, this triangle pattern. If we get that and we get a break to the downside, especially if we start to break pretty low, we're probably likely to get a pretty violent move on the downside. Now, when I say violent, once again, guys, it could be 1 week of strong movement. It could be 2 or 3 weeks, but we're likely to see some really, really, really strong moves, just like we did back here in August. We're probably likely to see something like that, and we're probably likely to see a move down. Either way, guys, we're squeezing up through here, and if we get it roll over through here, this actually looks pretty scary for people who are actually long this market right now. And you can see that through there, and the thing is, guys, is that whenever you are trading these markets, it's always important to look at the market, small picture, big picture. I always tell my private clients, whenever you're doing your trading, you obviously look for your setup, but keep an eye on that big picture, right? Small pictures, like, look at this here. So the last, if I look at the charts for, say, the 3 month period, See, if I just look at the last 3 months, I can't really see anything, right? Like I can, right? I can see what's happened through here, but notice how I can only see what's been happening for the last few months. It's not until I bring up the last year and then I start to apply my trend lines. I'm like, I can see it now. I can see it squeezing up into this triangle pattern. I can see it there, right? So this is big picture, small picture, big picture, small picture, right? Small picture is obviously good because I tell my private clients, wait for your pattern and wait for your setup. And then you want to look at the big picture to see where the overall trend is and see if you can identify anything on that chart. And the better you can read the chart, the better trade you be. So I'm always telling my private clients to make sure that when they're looking at small pictures, obviously for the pattern, and the big picture is obviously to see where the major support resistance and see what major patterns are forming around there to increase the probability of your trading doing really, really, really well. Make sense, guys? So if you'd like to become a private client, I've had one spot just open up just recently. The coaching starts straight away and ends at the end of next year. And if you'd like to have me as your private coach, then I'm running a 75% off sale. I've just had one spot open, 75% off sale. If you're interested in that, then email me at Howell, HOWELL trader @gmail.com, and I'll email you all the details about what goes into the coaching program. So we can see through there, right? And we go have a look at things like even the tranny, right? The transportation average. Now the transportation average is a lot different, right? If I move this up to say, let's go to small picture here for a minute. Now, what is the small picture? Small picture is like, look at this here. Came down, ran down, hit support, ran down, came down. Look at this massive support level. If we get the same thing on the transportation average, right? We may roll up and then we may go sideways for a bit and then come back down. If we get a break below this 175 level, then if I look at my big picture now, where's it likely to run to? Probably down towards this 155 level. Because once again, look at this here. Look at all this, what we call white space. There is no support level whatsoever with the tranny. So if we get that and then we start to break, the tranny is probably going to head down to 150 there. And the same for if I go look at the Russell 3000. The Russell 3000 is very similar to the other indices I just showed you there. There's the compressing up. There's the resistance level, but the Russell 3000 looks almost identical to the Dow Jones and the S&P. The Russell 2000 is pretty much identical to the transports, right? So if I go to the small picture again, which is the last couple of months, we can see here, right? Big running down, support, come up, hit the resistance, come back down. And now we're bouncing off here. If we actually hold here, and then we start to see a break below this, say 144 level, then we're probably likely to see a nice move down towards this gap here, 132. Now, if I go back to the big picture, 132, possibly even as low as 125 or 130 to 125 level. Because if I squeeze my chart up, here, look at this here, right? Let me just delete that trend line for a minute there. But look at this here. Notice how there is absolutely no support. If it does do that and then create a lower high, especially if we get a increase in volume, look at here. This is all what we call white space. Look at here. There is absolutely no support. It's pretty free and clear run down to 125. So I'm really excited. This is a warning, a big movement on the downside might be happening. It might happen. And if we get this pattern and we get this movement on the downside, then we're likely to see a big movement on the downside. So the title of this video wasn't some sort of, clickbait or something like that. This is an actual truth in the markets. We've been going sideways for a long time through here, not been doing nothing. And if we get that, and then we get if we do get this strong breakout, guys, and we get the volume, okay, the if scenarios. The if is if we do this, if this happens, then this is likely to happen. What is that if? Once again, if we get some sort of lower high here, like I just said before, and then a nice solid good bar breaking below 145 with a good volume, if that happens, then we're probably likely to head down to 130 to 125 level on the Russell 2000, and the same things for the other indices if that happens. But this is a warning sign that a sharp sell-off might just be around the corner.